I'm guessing some people are going to be watching this as a VOD, so hey there everyone, welcome to the stream. There's going to be a bit of setup that I need to do at the moment, right before I can actually start anything. So first I usually just go to my laptop and check if the audio is coming out okay. Um, if anyone else does end up joining quickly, I'll need to also ask them how the audio is coming out as well, just to get a bit more perspective on what exactly is happening. But hopefully everyone's having a good day. Give me a moment while I sort out all the details here. Right, I need to go to stream settings and everything else. Make sure everything's going well. God, this stream layout is actually atrocious. Okay. Yeah, the stream setup is always atrocious. Quick volume check. Okay, increase the volume. Right, seems to be going well. Minecraft. Yeah, honestly, it's not because I want to be playing Minecraft while streaming, it's just today's stream will be a lot of talking and I figured what else has better ambient music than Minecraft? Literally nothing. Minecraft is just great when it comes to ambient music and the visuals, so you can just enjoy my world for a bit here. Hold on, let me switch to... I just dropped something. God damn it. Let me just drop to first person. Or is third person better? I think this one was better. Let's just go with that. True. Welcome to the stream, though. How's your day been? Give me a second while I get all these settings done, and then we can get started. There's a few comments that I've been getting over the past few days that I've wanted to make videos on. But then I've also figured, you know what, I might as well just dedicate a stream to just answer them all live in case anyone else has any questions. So I figured I might as well do it today. As per usual, I was meant to actually start this stream early, but I completely lost track of time. Mostly because I was asleep prior to this. Anywho, what matters is I'm up now and I can actually get to everything. Where do I keep my thumbnails and which one do I use for this? Doesn't quite matter, does it? Also, the options for games were this, or Spider-Man, so I can continue with that story, but I have an inkling there is no way I'll be able to do both at the same time. So I figured, you know what? No point in doing that. No point in even trying. Might as well stick to this since I'm just going to be yapping for the majority of the stream. Need to sleep early. Hold on. I'll have a look at your comment in a moment there. Just need to handle this first. Okay. On. Sorry, I'm just going to be. I think I'll turn ads on recommended, but then putting them on low. I have a sneaking suspicion YouTube just doesn't push your stream as much if the monetization is turned off. Sneaking suspicion. I have no way to prove that, but might as well. Also, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people watching this as a VOD, I believe. One person in particular, because it's their question that I want to mostly get to the most. It's been fun, I guess. Hope your day is going well. Yeah, it's going well. A bit busier than usual, but yeah, it's going well. Yeah, I probably can't be here long. Need to sleep early tonight. No worries. When you need to go, just head on. But thank you for joining regardless. Okay, view activities, stream health. Yeah, it keeps giving me the same audio thingy. There's nothing I can do about that, sorry. Okay. Seems on the streaming end we're all good. Is there any way to make that part? Okay, switching that from top chat to just live chat so I don't end up missing any of the texts. My keyboard is connected to the wrong thing. This is inconvenient. How do I do this? I'm just gonna move my keyboard out of the way. Or ideally, I could just connect it to my laptop so I can get an easier experience. But then that means disconnecting it from my PlayStation. God, so many decisions to make. Right, we're just gonna go with that then. Which cable is it? I believe it's this cable. Please be the right cable. Please be the right cable. Which past avatar would you like to see get their own TV show? Give me a second, I'll get to that in a moment. This is the right one, yeah? My allergies that have been working up. Oh, sorry, really sorry to hear about that. Hopefully you're getting better. I feel like I'm dying. Yeah, hopefully you don't end up keeling over and you end up feeling better. Oh, Jay, nice to see you on the stream, bro. Which past avatar would you like to see get their own TV show? Me personally, I've been wanting a Kyoshi TV show for the longest time. I have a feeling we aren't going to be getting it, but if we are going to be getting any TV show for any avatar, I'm going to be a huge advocate for getting Kyoshi first, because I feel her story is, well, not the best, but the most intriguing, because then we'll get to see all the stuff with Father Glowworm. Most people haven't even heard of Father Glowworm at all, or any of the spiritual sides of the Avatar series outside of Book 2 of Korra. So I feel like if we can get to expand the avatars that have had to deal with the most change, that would be better, because specifically Kyoshi is extremely tied to the Avatar, well, Avatar The Last Airbender universe, or Aang's time, because she is responsible for the Dai Li, well, the literal, like, full creation of the Dai Li. She did that. So if we could have her story, we would get more of an advancement on how the Earth Kingdom became what it is, the creation of Kyoshi Island, some political issues in the Avatar series as well, the spiritual side with stuff like Father Glowworm, but also I feel like now that most of the Avatar fan base, Avatar fans anyway, have grown up a lot, we can get to have like a more adult show for Avatar, and Kyoshi's would definitely be more adult themed, with it being more violent, political, and expanding on the world building a lot more. Also, Kyoshi was practically the only, well, one of the few avatars that had no inclinations or problems with taking lives. She does end up taking her own friend's life. Sorry if that's a spoiler or anything, but yeah. I would want to have a Kyoshi TV show long before I have any other TV shows. Right, now I'm wondering if I should be pulling up these, no, I can't exactly do that on my laptop. I have to keep a look on the chat. So I think I've screenshotted the comments that I wanted to get to the most, so I'll likely do that. I can literally just go on my phone and read the comments, because I have no way to put them on screen at the moment. I will be moving around at some point. Sorry, if this view has gotten a bit too boring, I guess I can just show you my dragons. Wait, hold on. Where are they? Where'd they go? Where'd my dragons go? Ah, there we go. Well, there's two down there, but there's actually more in their pens that I'm still working on. Hold on. Actually, let me just put down my phone so I can actually just show you where I put some of them. Switch to first person. Okay, I'm working on creating pens for my dragons down here. If you're wondering how Minecraft has dragons, don't worry about it. It's a mod. Okay, so far I've got two created. There's this one, like a lava dragon. This was an ice one. I'm not sure if, due to the graphics, you can actually see anything. You should make a toothless. Believe me, if I find a toothless, I am adding toothless to this game. Okay, so the nature one, there's like a... oh no, that feathered guy over there. So there's an ice one in there and a lava one. There's a few more. Hold on. A friend of mine actually plays this too. Where do they keep their dragons? Okay, here's the full roster. I think this is all of them. No, they're actually missing one. So there's this one, like a ram, I suppose. Ice one. This guy who's extremely colorful, like an Aztec-looking dragon. The nature one. Off topic. How to Train Your Dragons will never be off topic. I love that show. Well, not just show. I've watched all the movies and the TV shows. Most people don't actually know there's TV shows to go with them. And also that guy. Which one's making all this noise? Is that just a wild dragon somewhere? Yeah, that's just this guy randomly chilling. Oh, right, there's a vendor there. Interesting. Anyway, back to what view is going to best capture everything. I created this entire grove myself. I like the peach trees in this game. Ironic because I don't like the color pink, but I suppose of all trees, I prefer these ones. What dragon is your favorite? Mine is the Death Song. They're so pretty. Yeah, exactly. You can also ride the dragons as well, which I suppose is kind of the point of having a dragon, but you know. You'll just switch to this view back again. From How to Train a Dragon, which dragon would be my favorite? Let's see, which one was it? There's a few. There's the Whispering Death, which is a favorite of mine, always has been, but there's a few more. Hold on, let me look it up here. I've completely gone off topic. I know I'm supposed to be talking about Avatar. Let's see. Okay, the Skrill. I've liked the Skrill for a long time. That's exactly what they are, like sakura blossoms, cherry blossoms. I think these are exactly what the trees are meant to be. I'll give you a close-up in a moment. The Skrill, there's also the King of the Dragons, but in the TV show, there's a scene where you get to see two dragons like shoot crossfire. One shoots blue, one shoots red. Those two dragons specifically, I like them a lot. I don't... Okay, so one of them was a Titan-winged Dromelian, and what was the other one? What was the other one? The other one was red. I keep forgetting its name. Titan-winged Dromelian, which is like a bluish, reddish kind of thing, but it's also bloody gigantic. But there's also the other one, the red ones, but like a Titan-winged version, which is the ones the bad guys were using this entire time. Also, the Night Fury, of course. Everyone likes the Night Fury. I prefer Toothless, but if I was going to get a Night Fury, I think I'd get the white one, because it looks exactly like my cat. You know, white cat, white dragon. Let's go with that. Let me switch back here. I've gotten distracted way too long. Okay, I need to start pulling up these comments so I can actually read them. I think there should be a feature that allows me to just filter out comments by searching for them. God, I hope there's still that feature. Unless that feature's only on my computer. Let's have a quick look there then. My overrated favorite is the Cloud Jumper. Wait, no, Cloud Jumper? Why do I remember that name? Is that the one that Hiccup's mother uses? How is that an overrated favorite though? Cloud Jumper is amazing. And then underrated favorite is the Death Song. That's also a great dragon. Although to be fair, I don't think there is a bad dragon in that entire franchise. It's a her? Oh god, I completely forgot that dragon was actually female. Yeah, that explains a few things actually. Seem to have a bit of a rivalry going on there with Hiccup. Well, with Toothless. Though I don't think there's any dragon that can go up against Toothless. Though slight pet peeve I have is we know that the Night Fury has extremely advanced powers, like where was it? In the second movie at the very end, we find out that he can basically just supercharge himself and start glowing blue with the amount of plasma that he's holding. But that doesn't seem to be used a lot in the show, which kind of got to me a bit. Like, we know he can be so much stronger, but it feels like they kind of nerf him a lot. But the first comment I want to get to is regarding earthbending. But the specific word they used in that comment was carbon. So if I look for that, I should... Yep, there we go, found the comment. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of this so that I can have a better view of it. Alright, let's get it. If I do end up turning this video into, or this live stream into a video itself, I will attach all of these comments on the screen so you can actually get a view of them yourself. But as for now, do you want to go ahead and zoom? Right. It doesn't want to zoom. Interesting. She didn't. It was like a motherly maternal thing, but in my opinion, in your opinion anyway, the way she fed Toothless and stuff, it's just the relationship of Hiccup and his mother, but as dragons. Okay, yeah, fair enough there, actually. There's a random owl just making noise back there, making you go off topic anyway. It's fine. I will never be upset about talking about that show. It's genuinely brilliant. What the hell was that? If I could go to this comment from my chat itself, that would be lovely. But I don't think I have an option for that. I just have to figure out how to bloody zoom. Scan text. No, 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 don't do that. Right. I don't think I actually have to zoom in. I can actually read it here. Okay, so the first comment I got, this is someone that actually ended up tagging me in the chat, so I ended up getting it that way. Which, by the way, if you have any questions, you can leave them in chat right now, or if you have them in my videos, just tag my name in there or my username in there, and it'll be way easier to get to them. So the comment says, I think I have a really good question. What exactly is Earth? Because in Avatar The Last Airbender, there is said... Wait, what? There is said they are bending Earth particles in metal. That's exactly what they said, actually, and even showed it. I think we can agree it is iron or steel. Yeah, I believe so. And we already had seen Earthbenders bend coal. Yeah, we did in that in the rig episode with Haru in it. Bend coal, so carbon could be those particles. I believe so. Because in metal could be, for example, carbon, but they are bending many other things, and there are more elements or components in the earth they are bending. And in the Legend of Korra, they are bending more types of metal. There is also said that even Toph cannot bend platinum because it is so clear and pure, but later they are able to bend liquid form of mercury. So pure mercury without any particles, and mercury is also as gold, platinum, or silver. Also pure metals. So metals are also earth. I'm really interested. What do you think? Right, there's something I need to look up first, just so I don't end up getting anything wrong. Okay, really quickly here. What is more pure? Liquid mercury or platinum? Once I get the answer to this, I should be able to answer the rest. So liquid mercury or platinum, which one is more pure? Liquid mercury can generally be purified to a higher degree than platinum, largely due to its low boiling point and tendency to not form solid alloys with contaminants. While both are chemical elements, their practical purity differs based on how they are extracted. Typically more pure and practical. Oh no. Oh god, no. I'm going to have to chalk this up to a case of the Legend of Korra screwing up. I'm really sorry that I have to keep saying that, but in this case, yeah, they screwed up. So basically what I'm getting from what this commenter was saying is, how exactly does earthbending or metal bending work in the Avatar series? Because in Avatar The Last Airbender, we are shown that they aren't actually bending the metal itself, but bending the impurities within the metal. We see this when Toph figures out how to metal bend in the first place by using seismic sense to see the particles of earth within the metal, which, for safe assumption, let's say it's carbon, or a form of carbon anyway, which exists in most earth. But yes, the commenter also said there are other parts of earth in it as well. But in metal bending, they are bending the earth within the metal, not the metal itself. So, how exactly does it work when in the Legend of Korra we are shown or told verbatim they can't actually bend a metal as pure as platinum because it is too pure and doesn't have as much earth in it, I guess. But then we end up getting shown in a scene, in the scene where Korra is getting poisoned, that they are actually able to bend liquid mercury, which is, by very definition, more pure of an element than platinum is. So, how is it they can't bend platinum, but they can bend liquid mercury? The answer to that is going to be my answer to most things in the Legend of Korra, and it's that the writers did not think far ahead. one bit. They did not think this far ahead at all. I would argue that till the day I die. But yeah, it doesn't really make any sense because, well, how come they're able to bend a more pure substance, but you're telling me they can't bend this pure substance, but they can bend this pure substance? I would genuinely just put it up to the writers didn't think far ahead. As for how metal bending works, with how the show tells us it works, I would say it's just they are able to bend impurities within the earth itself. So in terms of Toph, she just finds the earth within metal, or whatever metal it might be, iron or steel, it doesn't really matter which. She's able to just go to that, find the impurities, and then bend the impurities, but not the metal itself. Sorry, I just noticed some of these trees are dark. They were never meant to be dark. I'm just gonna add some torches to them. But yeah, I think that's how metal bending works. You don't bend the metal itself, you just bend the earth within it. Makes it a bit fairer that way. I'll have to make a full video on this to actually explain it, but I think, yeah, they kind of just fibbed in The Legend of Korra. They were never meant to be able to bend the purer forms of metal, because they told us that verbatim, and then they just, I guess, went behind their own rules, which doesn't make any sense when you think about it. The Legend of Korra. I love the show, genuinely do. I might bash it a lot here and there, but it's like the writers weren't, I don't know, maybe they weren't paid enough, because they keep making the silliest mistakes, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, I missed a tree. Huh. Let's get to you, buddy. I'll put this here. Oh, I left this tree completely unguarded. I don't know why there's just a regular tree type here when there's just supposed to be peach trees, but I suppose I'll get to that. Also, these two are out of formation. The trees are meant to go around in a circle, like a circular format, like a go around. So some of these trees are completely out of line. Unless, did I plant these to go around the path? I believe so. But then who planted this? I have no idea why I would put that one there. They're literally just supposed to go around the path, which means I'm missing a tree there and there to accompany that one, and to go around that. I think this would be a better view, right? Yeah, I think this would be a better view. Let's just put that down. Now to get to the other comment that I wanted to get to this entire time. Did you... Did it auto-translate that? Oh my god, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. It's in live chat. Hold on, let me just put up a question thing here, so that everyone at least knows that it's supposed to be a Q&A kind of thing. Start a Q&A. Do you have any avatar questions for me to answer? And then I'm just going to put this up so that people can just leave their questions in there. Did it work? Okay, yeah, it's already in there. Go back to live chat. Okay, so anyone who's currently joining, if you have any Avatar The Last Airbender questions, leave them in there and I'll be sure to get to them. But at the bottom of the chat here, I'll also be able to get to them. Now, where's that comment I've been looking to answer this entire time? Oh, skip that entirely. Right, what's the keywords I'm going to need for this? Yeah, no, I don't think any amount of keywords are actually going to help me at all, because the person who left the comment had a bunch of different keywords in there. Oh, sorry. I was keeping up to date with some gaming news there. I usually watch some news shorts, mostly gaming news. I don't watch actual news. That's too dreary and boring for my taste. I should be able to just get to the comment by going down my notifications. Also, I really do apologize for some people. I know a bunch of people ask me questions in the comments, and I don't end up seeing all of them most of the time. That's mostly because YouTube just picks and chooses what comments they end up showing me. Even if I manage... No, it's not that one. I remember what their username looked like. So at the very least I should be able to find it that way. Nope, not that way. 5 hours ago? I was not awake 5 hours ago. Oh, okay, I found them. Aether Wolf. Let's get to your comment. Yeah, it's oh dear, reading this is going to be interesting. There's something screaming around me. Oh, Dream Demons. That's nice. Yeah, burn me. Sorry. I would rather they continue to just burn away. Right, let's keep that view. That is on core because there is not how the avatar state works. Okay, so this person was replying to a portion of my video. I'm not sure which portion it was or what it said. I'll get to what their comment is. It's a really long comment, so consider this a read-along, I suppose. Okay, so we know Rava stores the elements for the avatar to use. Yes and no. Yeah, I'm going to have to read this and get to it. I know you're probably going to be reading this, so give me a moment. Okay, I'm back now. While I'm reading this comment, I'm going to have to just, I suppose, go through it and fact check it. Okay. We know Rava stores the elements for the avatar to use. No. Well, yes and no. What the Lion Turtle ended up saying in season 2, or I should call it book 2, in book 2 is no human has ever gone to most of the Lion Turtles to get all the elements, so it has been considered to be almost impossible for a human to carry and use all the elements, and I do believe it's because humans can't use all the elements at once usually. But some people have come to the interpretation, and I think the way it works is Rava wasn't the one actually carrying the elements for Avatar 1, because if I remember correctly, we see 1 be the one to take all the elements from the Lion Turtles because spirits can't use bending, so he was still getting all the elements from the Lion Turtle, but Rava was the one responsible for swapping them within his body, I believe. Hold on. In case I need to actually fact check this myself, I'm gonna go back to the episode. I should be able to at the very least. Okay, let me just go to The Legend of Korra. If I can get to the episode itself, and so I can actually check it. Okay, The Legend of Korra, let's get to that, open it. We want to go to book 2, beginnings part 1 or beginnings part 2. I believe it's going to be beginnings part 2, right? Let's go to beginnings part 2 first. Close this one. I don't want there to be much copyright, so I'm going to reduce the close that. I'm going to reduce the volume. Okay. Okay. I've got the clip right here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it, but I'll say it as well. No human has ever carried 2 elements at the same time.
I'm not like other humans. I can learn to do it.
Perhaps. But to do so, Rava must hold the power for you.
Okay.
Until you master.
So the Lion Turtle says, to do so, Rava must hold the power for you until you master.
Ancient one.
Until you master it. So Rava is going to carry the element. Let's see how this goes, because I think the important detail comes in who carries the element from the Lion Turtle. Currently, in this segment, let's see, in this segment that I'm looking at around a time code of 6 minutes 40 seconds in Beginnings episode 2, part 2 of Beginnings, this is the section where Avatar 1 is supposed to be getting the second element from the Lion Turtle. I believe this is air. Unsure, too unsure. But the point I'm trying to make is currently Avatar 1 has fire. He is about to get another element, so who is going to actually carry the element? Is it going to be Avatar 1 or Rava? Let's have a look.
Why would I do that for a human? Especially one who's caused so much trouble.
Rava, please.
I hate the design
Can't
for
let the
these
world
two
go
original
chaos
spirits.
because of
It just
my
looks like a kite
Neither of us
or a
can defeat
curtain.
Batu alone, but together we have a chance.
You may be right. Very well.
It took you
I
that
will
short of a
help
time
you
to be
master
convinced,
the
really?
power of air.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's the
In
air
return,
turtle.
I will help you restore balance to the world. What's this harmonic thing Vatu was
Okay,
talking
we
about?
didn't actually end up seeing who took the element though, which is odd. Extremely odd.
That
Right.
is when Vatu went.
Oh my god, this is unbearable. My keyboard keeps connecting and disconnecting. Maybe, I don't know if the port is broken or not. I'm trying to see if there are any portions where we see any of the lion turtles actually granting an element to one.
It is very dangerous.
Oh my god,
That's what they said
that's
about
gonna be
living
so
in the
annoying.
spirit wilds, and I survived
That
that.
that sound is going to be so
I'm ready.
annoying.
Give me the air.
Okay, so in this scene we see that we didn't actually see who got given the element. That's annoying as hell.
1,000 years. Why is it
Defeat Vatu in the same
Okay.
amongst 10,000.
Do we
so
see
much conflict between humans and spirits in the first?
do we see his journey to the other lion turtles?
If I'm gonna help you battle Vatu,
Okay.
then I should visit more lion turtles.
He says he's going to visit more lion turtles in order to get
Why
the
is
other elements.
there so much conflict between humans?
There we go. Yeah, that just answers my question. It's not Rava who gets the other elements, it's Avatar 1. So, Avatar 1 goes to every single one of the lion turtles and gets an element given to him. The element is put in his body, not in Rava's body. Now, I think how this works is because the only way he's able to swap between the elements until he masters them is, I believe, Rava passes through him, and one of two things happens. Either when she passes through one, she takes away the elements that he hasn't mastered yet and swaps it out for the one he currently wants to use. So as an example here would be, why is Avatar 1 unable to use both air and fire, the first two elements he got? He had fire and then got given air. So why would he need Rava in that instance, since he already has the two elements in his body? I believe since he hasn't gained full mastery of air yet, but only has mastery of fire, he can't actually use air. So what Rava does is one of two things. When she passes through him, she either takes away fire from his body so that he can only be left with air and be able to practice that, or she just passes through his body in order to swap which element is currently active by blocking out the one that was active prior. I don't know which interpretation you want to go with. You can go with either one, but since a spirit can't actually carry or use any elements, I am of the belief that she just swaps out the active element at the moment to air, or maybe she changes the flow of chi in the body to be that of air instead of that of fire. That way he can be able to just use air instead until he's able to master it. Because another thing that comes as a misunderstanding in the Avatar community is Rava isn't the one with the elements, it's still Avatar 1. The reason he's unable to use all four in the beginning is he can only really, or he's only really used to or mastered one of the flows of chi, I guess. The human body is usually only able to handle one because all four will be overwhelming, but I would assume it's because they can only really use the ones they have experience with, so the only ones they can use is the ones whose flow of chi they're used to, I guess. I'm rambling too much. I'm trying to get to a point. Basically what I'm saying is the interpretation I'm going with here is Avatar 1 has all the four elements put in his body, but he's unable to use them all until he can master them. Once he masters an element, he should be able to use it at any point without needing Rava. But Rava is essential in being able to allow the avatar to use different elements at once because the body can only handle learning one at a time, and can't switch to another one without Rava or without a great spirit. So even though Avatar 1 went to every single lion turtle and got all the 4 elements within him, he would only be able to use fire because that's the one that's currently flowing through his chi paths until he's able to master the flow of the other elements, and then he should be able to use all 4 elements interchangeably or simultaneously. Either one really doesn't really matter, but basically he should be able to use all 4 elements eventually, since he has all the energies within them. The Lion Turtles saying they didn't think it was possible because no human prior to Avatar 1, or 1 back then before being the Avatar, was able to use the elements like that, or had ever carried multiple energies, and Rava is needed to be able to swap the energies within his body. So in short, Rava doesn't carry the elements yet. Back then she didn't carry the elements. Avatar 1 still carried them. She was responsible for swapping them out. And at a certain point, I would assume anyway, it's heavily implied throughout the episodes, after 1 masters air, he should have been able to use both fire and air without Rava's help at all. I should probably head to bed. Spectre, have a nice night, mate. No worries. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the contribution and support to the channel. Sleep well, my dude. Right. So, after getting air, Rava was responsible for swapping out fire to air so that Avatar 1 would be able to use air until he mastered it. After he mastered it, I would assume he was able to use both fire and air. Hold on, let me swap out of this. There's another scene I'm going to go to as evidence, because there is another scene which I want to confirm though. Hello. Hey, Darkstar. Sorry, I missed your first comment there. The way I always saw it was Rava had to carry the 3 out of the 4 elements, and it wasn't until his death that she merged with 1. Unfortunately, that's not how it works from what I'm seeing here. I just watched the scene of him getting air, and while the Lion Turtle does say she has to carry it for him, there is another scene I'm going to have to look at here really quickly in order to make the full distinction. There's the scene in episode 2 of Beginnings, or part 2 of Beginnings, where actually I'm at the scene already. Avatar 1 is here, dealing with the humans versus the spirits. Now, he uses elements here. To get concrete proof, I want to see what allows him to be able to use the extra elements. Does he only use fire, or does he use another element before Rava passes through him? That's going to be what gives the most concrete answer.
These fire tossers aren't like you. Spirits like him killed our friends.
Okay.
I can't let them get away with that.
I have you on, but I'm also watching The Boys. I've watched that episode. I'm not going to spoil it. We can actually discuss it after you're done watching the episode. Hold on. I have you on, but I'm also watching The Boys. It has also been a long time since I watched Korra. Yeah, hold on. Are you watching it from the start, or are you watching the most recent episode? Because the most recent episode has its quirks in it. Hold on, I'm gonna move this keyboard out of the way so I can, if I need to type, I can just type through my keyboard itself. Yeah, the most recent episode was interesting. We can discuss it afterwards. Also, don't worry about not having watched Korra in a while. Most people haven't either. Okay, the atmosphere turns dark. Vatu turns all the spirits dark immediately. The most recent episode, yeah, when you're done watching it, we can discuss it, because I have so much to say about that episode.
It's Batu.
Okay, keeping an eye on 1 to see which elements he uses most. They start with fire, throwing at the spirits. I'm gonna reduce that volume just in case it's too unbearable. He uses air. He uses fire. Okay. Debunked right there. My god, the powers of just watching the show. Okay, so he doesn't need to be fused with Rava to use all the other elements. Not one bit, and we know this because of Korra too. Yeah, so, the prevailing theory. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to make a full video explaining this. So, confirmed, no longer a theory. Avatar 1 holds all 4 elements within his body, but when he was getting them, he was unable to use all 4 until he was done mastering the element he just got. So while he started with fire, he was unable to use air at all, or fire and air until he mastered air as well. So Rava would pass through his body, swap out the energy within him to air until he mastered air. Once he was done mastering air, Rava wouldn't need to pass through him again for him to be able to use air and fire, because now he has a mastery of both. This would seem to have worked with all the other elements as well. She would need to pass through him in order to give him access to the other one. She's not carrying any of the elements, she just swaps them out within his body. That seems to be her major fix. But as evidence, you can go to, let me give you a time code in case you're interested. You're watching this as a VOD. Go to Beginnings episode 2 on the time code 1229, or start at 1225. So there's 2 factions, the humans on one side, the spirits on the other. The humans start attacking the spirits because Vatu is making the tensions rise. So Avatar 1 is in the middle along with Rava. Let's have a look. The spirits start attacking. 1 fires air towards the spirits, then he fires fire towards the humans. Rava is flying in the sky. Hold on. I want to get a better zoom at this as well. Okay. Am I able to reduce the speed of the episode? This might make it okay. Normal. Let's go to 0.5. Okay. He bends to the right, or my right anyway. Fires air towards the spirits. Looks towards the other side. Uses fire. Yeah, that's fire escaping his body towards the humans. I want to make sure that it's not the humans using the fire. That is still Avatar 1 using it. Going back to it again, by the way, this is how I usually do research for my videos. I'm so sorry if this is boring. This is genuinely how I research these things so I don't get them wrong. Okay, spirits start attacking, uses air towards the spirits, jumps, turns, uses fire against the humans. Rava is floating around. It's almost trying to imply that she's floating around 1 to swap out the elements, except she doesn't pass through him, does she? This scene looks like she's passing through him, but if she is passing through him, that would almost imply that she's passing through to swap out the elements, but that doesn't make any sense, because he's already started by using fire and air. If she's passing through him, that would have to be because she wants to give him access to earth and water. But let's see which element he uses next. Air again. Air again. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense there at all. But I would say that the theory is no longer a theory anymore. He just has access to all of them. She doesn't necessarily pass through him, because when she does, it's supposed to be like an energy output. I think she's genuinely just flying around 1. Not sure why she's doing that. She's not exactly helping. The spirits are more agitated. They're now also attacking. The humans are now also attacking in earnest.
Rava! We need to combine our energies. Maybe then we'll have enough power to stop this.
Okay. So Rava seems to have literally just been flying around 1 this entire time. Hold on, let me just put the speed back to normal. Where is it? Yeah, I'm just gonna put the speed back to normal. She was just flying around, not merging with him in the slightest. He is able to just use, in this scene anyway, he's using fire and air synonymously with each other, like one hand fires fire, one hand fires air, and then swaps out the hands that are able to do that. So he does have the ability to wield 2 elements at the same time without needing any sort of fusion or interaction with Rava. Why isn't he using earth and water? I'm guessing it's because he hasn't actually learned how to use them yet. Those are not dominant elements. He's basically just gotten them and isn't used to them as of yet. But then we see a scene of him fusing with Rava to be able to access a different energy. Then blasts air towards both sides, uses fire.
You need to stop fighting now.
He's just using fire and air.
Destroy each other.
I'm not seeing water or earth being used at the moment.
What happened? He's controlling all four elements.
You're saying all 4 elements, but I'm only seeing 2. For at a push, you can say he's also using earth, but where?
I have to leave your body.
Like, I'm looking at him, he's just using 2. Where's the other 2?
Or I'll destroy you.
No! It's working.
Okay, there's particles of earth flying behind him, and
The fighting will start
is that
again.
swirling water somewhere? I'm not seeing water anywhere. And he drops to the ground. And Rava just grabs him. Okay. Well, I guess that's pretty much been proven. Right, I'm going to go back to this comment now that I actually have what I need to be able to debunk it properly. Okay, to get back to the person's comment, Aether Wolf, we know Rava stores the elements for the avatar to use. After they had fused, she does carry them to the other avatar's body, which is what allows the other avatar to be able to use any of the elements, but they aren't or shouldn't be able to use an element before they have learned to use it. An avatar doesn't just have access to an element before they are taught the fundamentals of how to use it unless they enter the avatar state. So no, while Rava does carry the element for an avatar, she can't necessarily use the avatar isn't necessarily able to use all 4 elements right off the bat. They must be taught how to use it, or if we're going to use Avatar 1's case in this instance, the avatar must first know how to use an element or have practiced within it or be adept in order to use an element. They can't just off-rip use an element. Well, Rava certainly makes it easier to have access to an element. Someone needs to first know how to use it as per usual. Like, one doesn't just use an element he's never seen before. He kinda needs to have seen how it's used before. So let's continue on. Okay, we know Rava stores the elements for the avatar to use. We know that typically they start bending other elements later, as bending is a connection to the world. Well, it's also about mastery too. You can't just use something you've never seen before. You need to first have some kind of practice in it first. Having one is already challenging for the body. It isn't. It isn't. From what we've seen of 1, you can actually carry all 4. It's just most people haven't actually thought of going to get all 4. But a regular human should be able to carry all 4, but they won't be able to use all 4 until they have practiced and mastered all 4. So they would need a great spirit to swap out the energies within them to be able to do that. Having 4 would overwhelm a person. No, it wouldn't. It never overwhelmed Avatar 1, even though he was carrying all of them. That's why usually we see an avatar only bend 1 element at once. Yeah, but they already carry all 4. We only see Korra bend 2 elements at once in Season 2. Without Rava, but Korra is the only avatar who opened. Okay, we only ever see... If you're talking about bending 2 elements simultaneously, I guess, but I don't think that's much of a plot point. Once you've mastered an element, or mastered 2 or 3 or 4, you should be able to use multiple at the same time simultaneously. Like with Avatar Roku's scene, his eyes flash once, and then he's able to use all the other elements without the avatar state, as in his eyes flash for a second and then he just uses all 4 elements simultaneously. Earth, fire, water, and I'm forgetting one, air, in different directions without actively being in the avatar state. So 4 would not overwhelm a person. That's why usually we see an avatar only bend 1 element at once. That's usually because there's never really a reason or excuse to use 2 at the same time. We see Korra bend 2 elements at once in Season 4 without Rava. In Season 4 without Rava? What? I think you're misunderstanding things. I don't think I like that episode of The Boys. Exactly, I didn't either. Mind you, that episode is supposed to be the penultimate episode. That's the episode before the final episode. And it was trash. It was genuinely abysmal. absolutely abysmal. How is that supposed to be the episode before the end of this long-running series? Absolutely you've already watched it, so I don't need to worry about the spoilers, but it doesn't set up anything about how this series is going to end. How are they going to deal with Homelander? We don't know. Is Kimiko going to be the example? We don't know. How are they going to handle the media fallout? How are they going to handle America after Homelander is gone? Is Homelander going to be gone? What's going to be happening to Soldier Boy? What's going to happen to the boys? Are they all going to die? Who's going to survive? When they do survive, what are they going to end up doing? The president's dead. What's going to end up with that? What's going to be the ending for... What's that Two-Face woman going to be? It doesn't make any sense. My favorite episode of Avatar was The Storm. I love that episode. It gives so much backstory and character to Aang and Katara, but also to Zuko, Iroh, and the Fire Nation. Brilliant episode. I love that episode. Too busy setting up Vought Rising than its own finale. Exactly. Like at this point, the only way I can see this ending making sense is if they plan to do a miniseries after The Boys to explain everything. The Storm is a good episode. Yep, it's genuinely a great episode. To continue reading this, okay, they start talking about chakra. Without Rava, no, they don't need Rava to be able to use all 4 elements. She just carries them to the next person's body. Also, Korra did have Rava in season 4, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. But Korra is the only avatar who opened all 7 chakras for longer than a few seconds. What? What do you mean opened them for longer than a few seconds? Aang had all of them open. Also, we've never seen... I don't remember a scene of Korra being shown opening all the chakra nodes. Do we? I think we've only seen Aang specifically being shown to open the chakra nodes, and those are supposed to be a way to have access to the avatar state, but there are different ways apparently. Because with Korra, she got the avatar state because it was given to her. There was nothing to do with chakras responsible there. However, we know as well that Rava can grant the abilities in dangerous times, unlocking the chakra permanently. I don't like how the commenter is using Rava as a separate entity when Rava and the person are the avatar. She is not a separate entity. When she fused with one, they became one person. So it's not that Rava is granting the abilities in dangerous times. The avatar has access to all the elements and the past lives experiences, knowledges, and all their expertise through the avatar state, in a state where the avatar joins with the avatar spirit and all the past lives to be able to overcome a dangerous situation. So using Rava as a singular entity doesn't make any sense. She is the avatar spirit, as in connected to every past life and the current one. They are supposed to be one being. She's not giving anyone access to anything. They are one being. Catching up with the comments. The Storm is a good episode. In my opinion, that would make things worse. Gen V should have been what helped set up the finale. I didn't watch Gen V because I knew it wasn't going to do anything for the episode. The characters for Gen V are supposed to be consequential to the original story of The Boys, and they didn't even do that. Marie only showed up for less than 5 minutes of screen time in The Boys Season 4, the Boys final season. It doesn't make any sense. Hopefully she plays a bigger role in the last episode, but I don't think they're going to be doing that either. It doesn't make sense. It's like Gen V just existed as, I don't know, filler. That's why I skipped watching it. I don't think it's going to make a difference. They wasted those characters. Yep, they did. Almost all of them are acting beyond dumb. They absolutely are. Zuko is my favorite Avatar The Last Airbender character. I just loved him as a 14-year-old. I still love his character so much. As a 17-year-old, I just understand it more. Yeah, to this day, I genuinely think Zuko is the best redemption story we've ever seen in fiction. A character going from an enemy to being conflicted to being a good guy, but also not just being an average good guy. He's still complex in his writing. He's genuinely a wonderful character. In my case, my favorite Avatar The Last Airbender character, I think is Toph. It would have to be Toph, honestly. But Zuko is definitely in my top 3. As a 32-year-old, Zuko is the best character in Avatar The Last Airbender. I honestly have no... I I genuinely have no way to refute that. If you say Zuko is the best, if you're talking about the best written character in Avatar: The Last Airbender, then yes, that is absolutely true. As a 32-year-old is the best character in Avatar: The Last Airbender, yeah, I would have to agree. 32? Bloody hell. Well, I'm in between ages between both of you, actually. I'm not that old. Though people have stated they think I'm that old, I'm really not. Darkstar, he is goated, absolutely agree. Toph is the second best character. I have to agree with that too. I am biased, she is my favorite character. But if we're going with writing, Zuko has to be first, and then I would say Toph, but there's a close I would say it's a close tie between Toph and Katara in terms of writing because they both have their complexities, but it's just that their complexities tend to go hand in hand. Right, continuing on with this comment. Rava can grant the abilities. No, we've talked about that. That happened to Aang when he froze himself in the ice and prolonging his life with that earthbending technique of Kyoshi. We actually don't know what ability kept Aang alive. I've made theories personally of how he was able to stay alive in the iceberg, but we have no confirmation that he used Kyoshi's ability. We genuinely don't, because let's see, Appa was also trapped in there, and he was also able to stay alive that entire time. So we genuinely don't know what ability was used on Aang. For Aang, it could be Kyoshi's ability shared through the Avatar state, but then we would need to know how. Was he able to just activate it on Appa as well? We genuinely don't know. So saying he was able to stay alive because of channeling Kyoshi's ability would be fan speculation because we genuinely don't know how that happened. That's how he was naturally gifted with water and mainly had a mental block with earthbending. We have an answer to that too. The reason he didn't carry a mental block with water, but one with earth, is the Avatar series tells us your opposite element is always the hardest for you to learn. This was broken with Avatar Korra, where they instead changed it to it's not your opposite element, it's the element that is opposed to your personality. So for Aang, who is free-spirited and free-flowing, earth, which is rigid and requires proper form, was his hardest to learn. That's what that goes down to. It doesn't come down to anything regarding the Avatar stuff or Rava. Naturally gifted with water and mainly. Well, he was naturally gifted with water and fire, mind you. He was able to use fire nearly on the first try, but blocked it within himself mentally because he heard Katara using it. Okay, earthbending, but once that was clear, it became second nature to him. It actually didn't become second nature to him. Earth has always been difficult for Aang, even when he did master it. I think in the comics or something like that, it's pointed out that the reason Aang isn't able to use metal bending is one, he wasn't interested, but two, I think Toph makes reference that because Aang is so hard-headed when it comes to earthbending, or I guess not the opposite of hard-headed when it comes to metal bending, but to earth bending, metal bending would be difficult for him. Though, honestly, I think he should have been able to use metal bending if he wanted to. It's just, it wasn't in his nature to be interested in that at all. Let's see. Similarly, he needed fire bending to keep himself nourished and warm, so he had his fire chakra unlocked as well. No, that's not what it... If the point you're trying to make is that when he was in the iceberg, the chakras for earth, fire, and water were unlocked for him in there, no, they weren't. They were all unlocked in book 2 with the guru. We see him unlock all of them there. So we know they have nothing to do, or at the very least we can assume, they have nothing to do with the bending technique, with bending. They're more of a state of mind because just because he unlocked them there he unlocked the fire chakra in there, but that didn't naturally mean he could use fire on that spot. He still couldn't, despite having had a mental block. So your correlation, well, you are using great information. I replied to this guy, by the way, and expressed they aren't wrong. They have the correct pieces, but they're putting them together in the wrong way. Korra similarly was kidnapped as a child on top of having to master all elements. She wasn't kidnapped as a child. They tried to kidnap her, but it's expressly said that they failed miserably. Tonrock, Zuko, Sokka, and Tenzin made damn sure the Red Lotus weren't able to kidnap Korra at all. They couldn't actually reach her. Um, Korra similarly was kidnapped as a child, false, on top of having to master all four elements in the span of 20-ish years. Avatars usually start learning the elements at 16. 20, she was able to use, well, 20-ish years is a good time span, but that's usually longer than most avatars do get. Yes, as she needed to be ready for the convergence. No, no, that's not why she needed to. The reason she had to master all the elements had nothing to do with the convergence. It was going to happen whether or not she had the elements. Nobody even knew about the convergence. Not even Aang knew about that, and he was an avatar. She just had to learn the elements because that's what the avatar is meant to do. And so her natural temperament didn't block neither water, earth, or fire. She could use all three at will. Again, you're putting together the wrong pieces. What? Oh my god, sorry. Breaking off in hysterics. You've got the right pieces, but you're putting them wrong. You're putting it. Oh my god, you're putting them together in the wrong way. Oh my goodness. Natural temperament didn't block neither water, earth, or fire. Okay, if we're using the Legend of Korra given example, or the reasoning, it's because the reason she's able to use the elements easier is because they're not diametrically opposed to her personality. But even then, it doesn't make sense why a 3 or 4-year-old is able to use elements she has never seen before at all. She lives, and I'm going to explain this better now for anyone who's here. Sorry for the rambling. But Korra grew up and lived in the South Pole. Back then, she didn't even have the White Lotus there to see the elements from. She was somehow able to use earth, fire, and water at the age of 4 years old. Now, my question has always been, you can't use something you genuinely don't know how to use. So, was there a random earthbender and a firebender living in the cold, cold south that she saw and learned from? Because even if you're going to say, okay, Korra is a prodigy, so she only needs to see an element once to use it. There is no such thing as a TV, so she didn't say it that way. There is zero chance that a child like her got access to scrolls. And did she see people use earthbending and firebending in the South as a 4-year-old to be able to copy them? But not just that. How did this kid randomly assume she's the Avatar, try to use another element she has never seen before? It works, and then she tries the other one, which also works? That'll be the equivalent of me trying to, I don't know, write something in the world that's extremely obscure. What's something that's extremely obscure that I wouldn't be able to do? Let's say there's a gourmet meal. Gourmet meals are all over the world, different recipes for everything. That would be the equivalent of me being able to know how to use like the top 3 best recipes for gourmet meals in the world after just being given the ingredients. Also, without even knowing what the ingredients are. What she did was insanely convoluted. It shouldn't even be possible. So any defense for that is always going to fall apart for me. Real quick, let me catch up with the comments. Wow, I've missed quite a bit. Dear. Right. You sound like Uncle Iroh in Hindi dub. Sorry, let me compose my thoughts for a moment. I sound like Iroh in Hindi dub? My first surprise there is going to be, I never ever knew there was a Hindi dub. Oh dear. I'm hoping that's a good thing and he doesn't sound horrible in the Hindi dub. To me, he was lost between Earth and the spirit world. That's how he managed that state. That could be true. Yeah, that could be true too. He could have just been stuck in the spirit world asleep this entire time. Guru Patik. Oh dear. Are you on Discord? What am I answering to? Okay, so there's a comment I got on YouTube, or I'm answering some comments on YouTube. Let me see if I can find this comment itself. So saying it isn't how that works. I'm going to type this in, and then when I do find the comment, I'm genuinely just going to, hold on. If I just go to the video itself, I should be able to. The video is called Everything You Need to Know About Avatar 7 Havens. I'm going to go to that video itself, copy the comment, and put it in chat so everyone else can see it there. Can I search up my own videos? Everything. Yeah, I'm just going to put the comment in there so everyone else can be able to see it. You need... After searching... Okay, everything you need to know about Avatar 7 Havens. Okay, I found it now. I'm going to take this comment and just put it in there. Okay, remove all the other thingies. Oh my god, where is it, where is it? It's my own pinned comment, so I should be able to just go to that, copy it and... Yeah, there it is, found it. Now if I could just copy the... Oh my god, it's an entire essay. Okay, can I copy the entire comment? Brainstorm video list, no, hell no. Okay. Right, can we scroll up? Yep. I'm not sure if it's all going to paste within the comment section. I'm pretty sure it won't. But I'm not on Discord. I'm just replying to someone's comment. Okay. If this doesn't manage to just paste itself, I'm really sorry. Okay, Control V. My god. Yeah, that's overtuned by an extreme amount. There is no way I can do that. There's nothing I can do. I can't paste it, unfortunately. Jesus Christ. The comment is way too long for me to be able to paste it. There's a typing limit, unfortunately. Yeah, there's a typing limit, so I'm not going to be able to actually paste it in here. Do I have any other alternatives? Yeah, do I have any other alternatives? I'm really sorry about that. I'm trying to think of ways I can, at the very least, show you what comment I'm replying to, but I don't think I have any way to do that at the moment. Since I can't exactly just paste it, it's like literally like an entire essay. I do have a Discord chat. If you have Discord, I can put it in there. Yeah, if you would like me to, I can just put the comment in Discord so you can read it from there. I would have it changed to the time when they find out she was Avatar and have her see Zuko or his son Iroh use firebending and try him. Yeah, and the way I would fix that scene is, and I always say this, just skip to when she was a teenager using, practicing fire or being tested for fire. Just remove that scene of her being a kid and the show starts making sense again. Literally. If they can't be bothered to animate her meeting other people or at the very least playing with other children of other elements, remove that scene entirely and skip to when she was having her fire trial. That would solve absolutely everything and just say, well, she's 17 years old and she now knows the other elements. That would honestly be perfectly fine. Farting from nose. What? You are unlikely to do assume that. No, he sounds very friendly and loving, Grandpa. Oh, thank God. Although wait, I sound like a grandpa? Oh, dear God. It has a word limit, yeah, it has a severe word limit. Keep yapping. Oh, dear. It felt Korra was tell, don't show in some areas. It didn't just feel like that, it was exactly how that went. They keep saying that the show writers didn't actually know they had they were going to be greenlit for the other seasons, but that, to me anyway, is trying to coddle incompetence because even if you didn't know you were going to get a second season or like a third season or fourth season, why would you write something incomplete? To me anyway, if I was told, okay, we only have budget to be able to give you one season, I personally would do my best to make sure that season is so good that it helps in green lighting another season. I think that's what any reasonable person would do in order to be able to ensure their success. But it's like they found out they had limited resources or just one season and just went, F it, we ball, and decided to do something half-assed. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, where did I reach in reading this comment? which again is about as long as an essay, dear God. Similarly kidnapped? No, so saying that isn't how it works is not a valid argument into, as we don't know if Pavi needed the avatar state to free her companion. We do know that she goes into the avatar state, but we also know that she had all 4 elements before using the avatar state. The cycle being damaged, not being reshaped for years, could have a multitude of reasons, but 2 explanations that are equally valid. Okay. The cataclysm and the fact both Vatu and Rava are weakened after the events of Season 2 of Korra. That is false. Only one of them was weakened. That would be Vatu, because he currently doesn't exist. Only Rava is alive. Vatu was destroyed. Now he will come back because you can't destroy the spirit. It should take at least another 10,000 years. Basically, at the next harmonic convergence, Vatu should be back. But currently, he is dead. As in both of them having the 4 elements could be explained that Rava was destroyed, freeing her of Korra. Yeah, she was destroyed but then spawned in Vatu. Vatu bonding with Unalak, then being destroyed, freeing him. But as he is destroyed, he resides in Rava as Rava did when he was destroyed. 2 differences there before we continue. When Rava was destroyed, she was no longer fused with Korra. So she could Rava, is the she I'm talking about, could reform in Vatu because she wasn't fused with Korra anymore. But when Vatu got destroyed, he was still fused with Unalak, Unavatu. So why would he respawn within Rava when he's technically his own entity at the moment? They were never separated. If anything, I would argue, why wasn't Vatu reincarnated into someone new immediately after that? That's how an avatar works, right? When an avatar dies, another is born almost immediately in the baby that is born immediately. So wouldn't Vatu be reborn into a child? Maybe that's what causes the cataclysm, that Vatu did get reborn immediately. He was just, in the events of Book 4 of The Legend of Korra, he was just a kid who hadn't realized or awakened yet. He's just residing in a kid. But the idea of Vatu going back in Rava when he's technically an avatar himself now doesn't make any sense to me. Being destroyed, freeing him. Where did we reach for elements? As for both of them having the 4 elements, could be explained that Rava was destroyed, freeing. It doesn't make any sense. And since the Rava bonded with Korra, again an avatar would have both spirits, and the spirits merging with each other for a brief time. They didn't merge with each other. They share the elements of from the turtle. That would make sense, but no. I've already explained this already. Rava doesn't carry the elements. She only carries them when an avatar dies, to take them into the next body, because spirits can't hold elements. Spirits can't bend. And as they are identical twins, one has Rava, the other has Vatu. To debunk this, when Vatu died, he was with Unalak. He should be reincarnating into someone new, not waiting until hundreds of years in the future to respawn with Rava's incarnation. That doesn't make any sense. And as the White Lotus wasn't alarmed about Nisha, it's likely that Pavi has Vatu. What? Oh dear, now we're reaching. This can also explain the energy storms are now with Rava and Vatu not being contained. Their separation does unleash insane amounts of energy, especially the closer the two get. Okay, but why would there be energy from separation happening when there isn't harmonic convergence? You can only separate them during harmonic convergence. That's when fusion and separation happens. So if they did separate, how are they planning to fuse without harmonic convergence? But also, how would they separate without harmonic convergence? That doesn't make any sense. Basically, why Twee and La circle each other in the spirit oasis and not being separated. But they have been separated. The moon spirit is now in the sky, and the ocean spirit went back to the spirit portal. Went back to the spirit world, I mean. So they have been separated. One question regarding that idea: Korra changed the law of Avatar: The Last Airbender. What exactly got changed? Oh my, I have been yapping about what has been changed this entire time. The entire beginning section is a retcon entirely. Another change is saying that the thing that affects the avatar's hardest element to learn, his personality, is also something of a change because it's just supposed to be the element opposite yours. For Yang Chen, it was earth. For Korok, it was fire. For Kiyoshi, it was air. For Roku, it was water. It oh my, you can make the argument that maybe they were able to make it work or function, but that in itself is a change too. Not also expanding on the numerous of other changes as well, but I can't just recite them here. I've been yapping way too long. Sure, the setting changed, but honestly, compared to what they had in Avatar The Last Airbender, it's tame. Because Avatar The Last Airbender is the original and The Legend of Korra is the sequel. You would assume that a sequel would try to follow the rules of the prequel, right? But The Legend of Korra said, no, F it, we ball. Having such strong emotions to something that you don't know anything about outside stuff where you could theorize about is honestly not understandable for me. So, no offense to this guy, but you watch a video of me explaining why Seven Havens is a problem and is problematic to the lore of not just Legend of Korra, but also Avatar The Last Airbender, which is saying something. And your conclusion to that after watching that video is assuming that I'm talking about something that I don't know about. How did I make the video if I didn't know if I didn't know the series or shows that I'm talking about? That doesn't really make any sense in my book either. Like right now, and I'm assuming he's going to be watching this VOD. I hope he's still watching this VOD because this is way too much effort. I showed my process for making videos a bit earlier. Whenever I'm researching a topic about Avatar The Last Airbender, I will literally pull up, I still have it pulled up here, the episode of Beginnings that I was going through while analyzing that scene. This is how I do my research. Yes, I've watched The Legend of Korra, I've already said this, over 6 times, and I'm on the 7th for the review series. I've watched Avatar The Last Airbender so many times I can't even count. I think a few months ago I watched it again, and I'm about to watch it again now. Just 2 days ago I watched the last 3 episodes for a video. But what I'm trying to say is, I do know what I'm talking about. That's why I find all these problems. I go back to the source material because I recognize that judging the series based off memory isn't the smartest thing either, which is why I keep rewatching it over and over again as a content creator on the Avatar space. I don't want to be someone who talks about things I don't know about. So I started reading the comics, the novels, I go on the wiki pages, I rewatch the shows, which honestly is more than most people seem to do, which is why I avoid making the mistakes you made in this comment of yours, my guy. I just rewatch the show. Like, at least ask yourself if you can create a theory how all of this makes sense. Yes, I did create theories. That's at the very least 40% of my videos is theories. Granted, I don't know what your opinion is on the story about one, so that's a lot of what my theorizing is based on. And if your opinion on that is that ruins the canon, then Godspeed. I wouldn't say it ruins the canon, but it certainly has some retcons here and there. But in the case that holds you in the fandom outside nostalgia. Outside of nostalgia, I think what holds me in the Avatar The Last Airbender fandom is genuinely just a deep-seated love for the show. I love the show, I love the characters, I love the world building, the themes, the power system, everything about the show just fascinates me. That's why I make videos about it. So no, not nostalgia, it's genuinely a love for the series itself. I personally am hyped for the new show, as it can redeem what Nickelodeon did to Korra. It's not. It's really not. People keep saying, well, you can't call it a plot hole if it hasn't happened yet and the show hasn't come out, but I don't know. I don't need to wait until a bomb explodes for me to know that that's going to be a bomb. Let's see. I want the show to succeed, that the other plans of the studio, like animating the adult gang on the comics, we're not even going to begin talking about the comics. It's not like you have to engage with parts of a fandom you don't enjoy. That is very true. Another reason, by the way, how the time skip could be explained between Korra and Pavi and Nisha could be because Azrava and Vatu's being fused into one entity, they were not, and a person can only support one spirit bonding with them as every infant who would be born as the Avatar died until there are two bodies to inhabit, splitting the spirits. Yeah, my God. Okay, I'm finally done with that comment, and oh boy, it was genuinely like going through an entire paper to grade in university. Oh God. Ah, that was a lot to go through, but I think the guy had the right ideas but the wrong implementation because, oh boy. I might end up having to make a video. Actually, no, hell no, I'm not making a video about that entire comment. That's going to take me 30 entire minutes. It's taken me this whole stream, and the stream has been up for what, nearly an hour now? It's been over an hour. Yeah, I'm not making a video about that. Hell no. The guy had good ideas. It's just they were misplaced, and a lot of their ideas were theories which they thought were canon, but no. When did you get into Avatar? Years ago. I started watching Avatar as a kid. Since then, I don't remember what age it was, but it was still as a kid. I started with Avatar: The Last Airbender, as with everyone. I still remember the times when Avatar, well, not Avatar, The Legend of Korra was coming out. We were seeing like clips being posted on YouTube and floating around the internet of the scene where Korra enters the Avatar state. That was the first scene I ever saw about The Legend of Korra because I didn't actually know the show had come out yet. I remember being extremely hyped about that as a kid, and getting to watch the actual show was extremely exciting. Of course, back then I didn't see any flaws in the Legend of Korra because I was watching it as a kid. But as you grow up and start watching the show, not out of just enjoyment, but critical thinking, read upper charts. Yeah, I'm about to get to those since I'm done with the comment. Back then I really enjoyed The Legend of Korra. I still do, except now I can see the flaws and appreciate them for what they are. No, it's okay, man. It felt Korra was... Yeah, this is where I ended up as. Avatar: The Last Airbender had only 3 seasons, while Korra had 4, so it had more time to fix its mistakes, but it kinda didn't. I am not good at making one story. I write stories, but if I had to write only one story, I would try to make it good enough that people beg for more. Yeah, exactly why I believe The Boys' final season should be better, but we've literally only got one episode left and they seem to be messing up. If you told me to write an ending for The Boys right now, I would need several episodes to be able to actually end it because there's no way they're ending all of that in one episode, unless the episode is like 2 hours long. Zuko has been my first fictional crush ever. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but uh, actually no, I'm just not going to make any assumptions at all. I'm glad they are your fictional crush. He does fit the emo archetype. He's like the Sasuke of Avatar: The Last Airbender, or the Kirito. Still is. Oh, that's fantastic. You have Avatar: The Last Airbender opening background music in the background. I do? Wait, I do? When? Unless you're not talking about me. You can hear it slightly. Unless that might be Minecraft you're hearing. Except I did actually play a portion of the episode there, so you might have heard it from there. Korra is kind of boring. Can we do Avatar: The Last Airbender questions? Yeah, of course. You can ask any questions. I'll answer them. I'm done with that comment, so now I'm just going to be interacting with the chat, and when chat gets a bit slow, I'm just going to continue building. That is how toxic people act. They project onto you what they themselves are in hopes you pay attention to them. Yeah, that's why I started replying less to some comments. You can tell some of them are rage bait and people just trying to lure you in by saying what's going to trigger you. It works sometimes. I always have my off days when my guard is down. Leaking it would be the worst thing for Avatar universe. Hope it doesn't get stopped in making. Yeah, despite what I say about Seven Havens, I genuinely do want to see more of the show because I believe it's going to, at the very least, Avatar fans are starved. We need stuff to be coming out, which is... I'm a bit angry at Paramount at the moment for what they're doing with the Avatar movie, but, I do want them to make Seven Havens so that we can, at the very least, Avatar fans can have something else to be excited about. And I genuinely hope Seven Havens ends up being a really good show so that we can enjoy it more. Okay, let's see, where did I end up? Yep, there we go. Looking at read that. Sorry if I'm bad in English. It's not my first language. Honestly, your English is perfectly fine. Even if it wasn't, I'm pretty sure YouTube has a auto-translating system. It would just translate it for me. So you're all good. When did you get into Avatar fans? So this one, read upper chats. Finally, I've caught up. You're a girl. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was going to make an assumption because when you said that, this entire time I thought you were a guy, and I was like, when I read that Zuko is your fictional crush, and I was thinking, yeah, I can't really contribute to this because, um, yeah, modern issues. I couldn't make any assumptions. Sorry. If I had to write an ending for the boys, I would have made Black Noir a different one and have him just be a clone of Homelander as he was in the comics. That would have honestly been better. Designed by Stan Edgar to stop him in case Homelander gets off the rails, which is exactly what they did in the comics. That's what he was. Although Black Noir in the comics was, oh boy, he was an interesting character. He was an interesting individual. He was messed up. But him being a clone of Homelander would have been better. They had a chance to save this when Black Noir suddenly went silent in this final season. They could have just said, okay, the Black Noir we had back then was taken out, I believe. Oh, taken out, let's just say taken out. They got rid of him and then decided to swap him out with another Black Noir, maybe a clone of Homelander. That would have made a lot more sense, to me at least. But they apparently just chose not to do that, which, okay, I can respect that. Have you made any videos on Avatar comics? What are your thoughts on them anyway? I've made I've made a video talking about the Mother of Faces. Let me just quickly fact check here. I've made a video on the Mother of Faces. I believe I briefly talked about Zuko's mother and the relationship that happened there. I even made a video reading and like narrating through the entire comic of The Promise, which is a comic that happens right after Avatar The Last Airbender. I made a video on that. Let's see. I was going to make it an entire video series, but yeah, no. Maybe at some point in the future I might. But yeah, I have made videos on Avatar comics. It depends. I like some of the comics, but the other ones, not so much. Reason for that being, and I'm assuming you're asking because you want to have my reason on it. The reason for that being that I believe the comics change the fundamentals of the characters. I'm not going to... Kripke. Oh. I'm not going to spoil the comics too much, but especially in the comics that I ended up narrating, they changed up the character of Aang so much, and the character of Zuko so much as well. It's almost like they made the characters regress in writing, and I didn't find that to be pleasant at all. Like, at all. It didn't make any sense for Aang to go back to being so immature, and Zuko going back to being antagonistic, and them... Literally, they are supposed to be best friends, but they reach a point where they become so antagonistic towards each other. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, I know not all the comics are like that, like the Search was... Hey there, mate. Hey guys, I want to introduce you to my friend here. He literally... He comes in here to say hi sometimes, and then leaves. I guess he'll be back at some point, okay. Yeah, some of the comics change up the characters too much for my liking, so I end up just not liking them too much. Quick catch up here. Relax. Oh dear, thank you. Have you made any videos on that? Yep. He was very interesting in the comics. They did, but Kripke, I think, this is how you spell it, wants to tell his own story. Because of course he does. Of course he bloody does. Oh, the Zuko finding his mother and Mai leaving was so tragic. We don't even know if Mai comes back. I don't know why they mess with Zuko's relationship anymore. It doesn't make any bloody sense. Is it in the one about the village? Yeah, it's the one about the village. The Promise is the one that happens right after. Yeah, it's the one that, what's that village called? Yu Dao? Yeah, Yu Dao, which ends up, I believe Yu Dao ends up becoming Republic City at some point, right? Or at the very least, near there, it ends up becoming Republic City. Okay, so I need measurements for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut. I'm not even gonna have to worry about that. I just need to get rid of more of these walls. So that I can actually build more dragon pens and store my dragons in there. And yes, I'm in creative mode. I think you're right, I'll check. Yeah, have a look. I think Udao ends up becoming Republic City. What's that green I'm seeing? Hello, creeper. Is there a cave behind my dragon pen this entire time? I'll have a look. Because now I'm extremely curious. Where'd you go, creeper? Hey. Yeah, there's a cave system back. Hey there, brother. What is that? This is a horror show. Hold on, I need a potion of night vision to be able to actually see in here. Search up night. Which one is the longest one? Potion of night vision. This gives me 8 minutes. Okay. We're gonna down this. Yeah, there's an entire cave system back here. That makes things fascinating. What's that zombie doing? Let's see. I think you're right, I'll check. Okay. I find Zuko and Man's relationship kind of a red flag. Red flag. Bloody red relationship. Yeah, that's actually correct. Their relationship is kind of toxic. In the way that I think Mai deserves someone who's a bit better than Zuko. Zuko is very closed off. I think the only way, maybe the reason Zutara fans like that relationship more is, I think if Zuko had someone like Katara who was more strong-willed, would be able to rein Zuko in a lot more, but Mai is, well, too complicated in her own way as well. According to the fandom side, it was Cranefish City, but let me dig a little more. You're right, it actually is Cranefish. But the question I have is, how is Cranefish related? It is Cranefish City or Cranefish Village that became Republic City. But Udao is meant to be close by, I believe. It's close to where Toph has her metal bending school. So, let me have a look. It's the first of the Fire Nation colonies in the Earth Kingdom, and the one that actually likes being a colony, with our Firebenders and Earthbenders living together in harmony. So I was of the opinion that maybe that ended up becoming Republic City, because people are already living there, of two nations. Become Republic City. You are right about the Cranefish, though. I remember that specifically. Is considered the foundational colony. Okay. This says, yes, Udao is considered the foundational colony that evolved into Republic City, but it is not technically the exact same physical location as the final metropolis. Udao set the precedent, while Cranefish Town, built nearby on land originally sacred to the air nomads, was the direct precursor that grew into Republic City. So basically, Udao was like the building blocks that ended up leading to Republic City being built, as in after seeing that benders of different nations, earth and fire, could coexist, they got the idea to Enderman, or Enderwoman, get out of there. After saying that, they were like, oh, so people of different nations have the ability to coexist, and kind of just went with that. So you are entirely right, yeah, they did end up building Republic City close by, in a place called Cranefish Town, which apparently is supposed to be a subset of the Air Nomad, of the Air Nation. Interesting, I didn't know that. To be honest, I kind of just thought airbenders only lived in mountains. At the very least, that's where they usually live. Huh. Back to... I think I can close that one, but I'm not gonna. According to the fandom, yep, Cranefish. I think it may have been the start of Cranefish City. Apparently, Cranefish is a bit next to Udao, but they ended up building it over there. Unless Cranefish... when Cranefish became Republic City, it might have grown to encompass Udao, I think. I'm not sure. That's why I should have been in the Avatar universe. Okay, question for you. If you were in the Avatar universe, which element would you want? This guy doesn't want to leave me alone. If you were in the Avatar universe, which element would you want to take? Like the only real love I saw in them was in Boiling Rock. Yeah, and it always does seem to be kind of one-sided. It's always Mai giving the most and Zuko kind of just benefiting from it. I never really saw it as a healthy relationship at all. It's never really healthy when only one party is always giving and the other one just keeps taking. Not that I'm saying Zuko's a bad person, it's just I'm saying he's a bad boyfriend, that's all. I'm pretty sure Mai even knew that herself. To this day, if you asked me why Mai started liking Zuko, I can't tell you. Seems kinda superficial. Maybe she just had a crush when she was a kid and he kinda just stayed there, but is there a tangible reason for Mai liking Zuko? I wouldn't be able to give you one. Brother, why do you keep watching me? Go away. Damn. My friend would riot if they saw that Enderman was still following me. It's the same one. It's always the same one that kind of just follows me everywhere. I'm not sure how far in I need to go, but I'll find a study. I'll stop there. I'll stop there. Let's, yeah, we'll make that my stopping point. Because I don't want to go too far in. I only need a few of these, like 3 more going this way. I'm going to have to fill in this part as well, which is going to be a nightmare. Hold on, just to keep these annoying things out there. You, Creeper. You can stay in there. Oh my god. Was I using the wrong block this entire time? Okay, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. I'll replace this. For now, I'm just trying to keep that Creeper from coming in here. Oh my god. And he just walked by, didn't he? Because of course he did. Is bro blending in? Oh my. Hold on. Wouldn't this be better? Okay. I should be able to have them. Now there's a creeper there. That's fantastic. If I go into regular mode, he's just going to kill me. I think he cares so much too. Yeah. I can handle hot-headed and being and bang the heads perfectly. Oh dear. Yeah, you might actually be able to handle Zuko if that's the case. No, in the beach episode, Zuko actually was doing all he could, picking shells, which Maya rejects because that's not the kind of person she is. Bringing ice cream, serving her, getting jealous. Yeah, I think they haven't spent much time together, I would say, so. Although, honestly, I'm impressed. Mai has waited for Zuko for years upon years now, so clearly he's putting in the work, but I think because they haven't spent much time together, Zuko doesn't actually know Mai well enough to be able to, you know, actually know what kind of person Mai is, and I believe that kind of set them apart a bit more, because when he did all those acts of service in the beach episode, which is sweet, yeah, almost any lady would be happy about that kind of treatment. It's just not the kind of person who Mai is, I would say. Though I do believe they should, maybe the writers of Avatar The Last Airbender were always trying to hint at the idea of them not ending up together at some point, or maybe they were at the very end because they seem to be happy at the end. And then in the comics they kind of just break up. I'm not sure what the point of that was. They could have just left them together. I think he cares so much too. Yeah, he definitely does. It's just he's putting effort in the wrong places. But they both were so messed up, emo, angry-headed characters. Yep, that they were. They just messed up. Yeah, I don't know why they had to be split up in the comics. They could have just left them together. Like it's to the point where I genuinely don't know who Zuko's daughter's mother is. I genuinely don't know. Like, we know Zuko has a daughter, also has a granddaughter, well, grandson, but who did Zuko end up with? The answer is never given to us. People speculate that it's Mai, but then you look at the comics and it's like the last instance of them together was they broke up, so what gives? They just messed up. Yeah, they really, really did. Would love it if Mai is Azumi's mother. I would too, because that would imply they actually got back together, but, you know. Izumi means waterfall. It does? I didn't actually know that. Now that makes me curious. What do all the Avatar characters' names actually mean? Because waterfall sounds really good. So I guess it's the waterfall scene? Could be? Huh. It would be funny if it was Tylee. You know, this is going to be a messed up theory, but I think it might end up being Suki. Now hear me out. Hear me out. I think it genuinely has a good precedent for being Suki, because in the comics, the promise we find out that because of all the assassination attempts on Zuko's life, the Kyoshi warriors were actually sent to the Fire Nation by Mai, mind you, to be Zuko's personal guards, like the Fire Lord's personal guards were the Kyoshi warriors. So, what if when Mai stepped out of the picture, we don't actually know who Sokka ended up with. He doesn't have any kids, so definitely not Suki. What if it was Suki? She was always there. She's literally in charge of guarding Zuko, so she's always going to be present. What if Zuko ended up with her? Now that is just a theory. A game theory. But it's not as implausible as you might think. The woman responsible for basically being Zuko's personal guard. Mr. Steal Your Girl, would it surprise you? Would it surprise you that Zuko ended up with Suki instead of Sokka? Wouldn't surprise me, that's for sure. That implies that waterfall scene in the storm. When they both fall for each other. It could be. Honestly, could be. But the handling of their relationship is so bad. It's... Yes, I'm locking you away. You're on timeout. Go away, Enderman. Go away. Did he just teleport to this side? Oh, you toxic son bitch. Okay, that Enderman is way too attached. Oh, do I want to cover this? Yeah, I do. Damn, that Enderman has hella attachment issues. Okay, this is an odd grouping. I'm going to kill you. I don't like creepers. I don't like zombies either, so you're going to die. You... I don't think even killing you would get you away from me. You seem to like following me. Yeah, look away. The search when Mai gets a new boyfriend. She what? Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my god. Yeah, they fumbled that entire relationship. They fumbled it so badly. Because what do you mean Mai got a new boyfriend? Oh dear. The more you look at the comics, the more you realize that Izumi's mother can't be Mai, because if after all of that they ended up back together, it doesn't make any damn sense at all. Seems like they were just trying to make it so that Zuko ends up alone. And I've seen the leaked Avatar movie, I can tell you right now, Mai isn't in there. It's not even hinting that Zuko has any sort of partner either. He's just the Fire Lord. Hold on, I can't remember, did he have the Kyoshi warriors as his guards in there? I don't think I'll have to rewatch the movie. I'll rewatch it if they bring it back to the cinemas. If not, I'm genuinely going to pirate it, and there's nothing they're going to be able to do about that. People were going to pirate that movie no matter what they did because they pissed off the wrong fan base. This fan base is known for leaking things whenever they feel like they aren't being respected. But yeah, I hope that that's who he ended up with. But Zuko really. Well, if we're talking about common tongue, fumbled the bag when it came to Mai. I've been working on this for way too bloody long. Hold on, did I miss anything? In the comics, the search when Mai gets a new boyfriend. How desperate Zuko acts. He clearly has feelings for Mai and actually cares about her a lot, but I don't think Zuko actually knows how to be how to behave with Mai at all. Like, I genuinely believe if they gave them some time to actually work things out, they would end up back together, but I don't know why they keep creating problems between the two. Do they not want them to end up together on purpose? Doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's giving off they're trying to sabotage the relationship on purpose. Who knows, maybe the one who keeps writing these comics is a Zutara fan. Like to this day, okay, we don't talk about the live action because obviously we don't talk about the live action. It sucks. But my theory is they are trying to make the live action in the live action version anyway because they aren't setting up Katara and Aang at all. My theory is they are trying to set up Zutara in the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. Now, of course, I might end up being wrong, but we've already got book one done, and they haven't had any connection from Aang and Katara at all. But we have had, well, I think anyway, we have had scenes of Katara being nicer to Zuko, so they might actually be they might end up doing that. Which, if they do, I wouldn't say I'm going to boycott the show. I already don't like it, but I will review it at the very least. Hold on, did I miss something? This is the problem. They write Mai to be so bad. Unfortunately, yeah. I don't know who they want us to hate. Is it Mai or Zuko? Because if you told me Zuko was a bad boyfriend, I would believe you, because I know he is. Or at the very least he's trying, but not in the correct ways? Maybe? Who knows? But they're also trying to make Mai the problem, so by making them both kinda emo, hot-headed, kinda toxic, kinda not. It's not ending up well. It just doesn't. Hold on. Mai is the problem. They write her to be so bad. She is? I'm curious to know why you think she's the problem. She did seem, at least in the show anyway, she did seem to sacrifice a lot for Zuko. And then maybe they both reconciled, accepting both are emo, stupid-headed teenagers. Yeah, that could be it too. And while Zuko has his red flags, they are things he can change. Yeah, Zuko's whole adventure, or Zuko's whole character, is about change and being better, so I can definitely believe that Zuko can be better, but also I'm struggling to see how Mai is also the problem too. Well, yes, she's not perfect, absolutely not. Neither of them are really, but I don't know how Mai is the problem, or at least I struggle to understand how she is at least. Damn, Enderman, go away! Where's that creeper? I kinda have to kill you. I don't want to do anything to the creeper here because I might end up just dying. Hold on. In creative, do things die? What's this? Stone Falcon Sword. We'll take you. Do things die in creative? They do. Okay. Will the creeper blow up if I hit it? Did he run away the moment he heard I'm going to kill him? Oh, he's in there. What if I push him into the lava? Is he gonna blow up? No, I'm not gonna have you blow up my pen, mate. Sorry. You know the reason Mai leaves Zuko in the comics is pretty stupid too. What was the reason? Like, man, you counsel when your boyfriend is taking a step like, hold on, is taking a step this dangerous in secret. Oh, right, you're saying she should have been counseling him instead of storming out. Okay, fair enough. They definitely wanted Zuko to be single. For you? Well, I'm guessing that ended up well for you, not for Mai. He visits his father in secret. Yeah, he did visit his father in secret, but how is that a bad thing? Honestly, the advice Ozai ends up giving Zuko was good. I liked how they implemented Ozai to not be this bad guy in prison, but almost like genuinely wanting to give advice to his son, which made Ozai a bit more empathetic to me. That he's not completely heartless. He genuinely gives a damn about the Fire Nation. But the thing that makes it better for me as well is hold on, let me compose myself real quick. They established that despite all the evils Ozai has done, he was a good Fire Lord. Like, hate Ozai all you want, he was not a bad Fire Lord. Like, his people genuinely did love him because he brought prosperity to the people. His army loved him. The people in the colonies loved him too, which is great, I would say, because it makes him come off as less of evil and more of, okay, he's genuinely just a good leader. But it comes to perception. To the Fire Nation, Ozai is a good guy. To the other nations, obviously not, because he's conquering all of them. But I found that to be really interesting, that they're not just making Ozai out to be this bad guy. Wait, what? Okay, this is why she leaves him. She doesn't understand why he would go see his father, a tyrant. Because he's the only person alive who can help Zuko. Like, Zuko was struggling with being the Fire Lord. Guess who's the one person alive who can give him advice? Which, by the way, this is also something I have a problem with. They make it out so Iroh just stays in the Earth Kingdom with his tea shop, while his nephew, who is a teenager, by the way, is taking over an entire nation. It's outside of Uncle Iroh's character to not go and counsel Zuko in being a leader. Even if he doesn't want to be a leader himself, he would at the very least help his nephew. But it gets so desperate to the point where Zuko has to rely on the one person who can help him out, his father. Yes, he's a tyrant, but he's also this one person who can actually help him out. And truth be told, Ozai does end up helping his son. The advice he gives to Zuko actually does help. Well, kinda, sorta, half and half. Help him become a better Fire Lord. Someone with actual experience. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because Zuko's entire plan was, because he felt so sorry about what the Fire Nation had been doing the last 100 years, he was basically just mistreating his own people. He needed to hear it from Ozai and his people as well, that the Fire Nation do deserve to also be treated as fairly as possible too. Just because there's 100 years of warfare and war crimes on the Fire Nation side doesn't make them less of people. So the fact that she would just break up with him for just going to see his own father, a tyrant, the one person who was actually willing to help, is crazy to me. It comes off as unreasonable. I can see where she comes from, but it's just not okay. Let's see, that is why she leaves him. She doesn't understand why he would go and visit his father, a tyrant. Oh dear. Like, man, come on, it isn't something to leave for. It really isn't. Maybe she would just try to understand him better, but he goes to visit his father and you just leave him for that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see, go back up. She should have talked, she should have talked, why the heck is this half-burnt man going to his burner? Oh, going to his burner. Okay. Let's see. I didn't say she doesn't know Ozai is his father. She doesn't know why Zuko would go and see Ozai. Ozai being a bad guy. He's a bad guy to the other nations, not to the Fire Nation. He was a good leader. Yeah, that's the reason, cause he is the father and Ozai was Fire Lord. Phoenix King, not Fire Lord. That's the reason. And that is mostly the consensus on Mai and Zuko's breakup. Ozai was the only one who knew what it was like, and the only person who knew what happened to Zuko's mother. Yeah, how was Zuko ever going to find out what happened to his mother? Take a guess? Okay, I can't side with Mai on that one. She wasn't being fair on him. Yeah, he went to the one person who could actually give him the information he needed, and she just crashes out and leaves. Fantastic. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going up by how many? Going up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? Why is it just 6? Okay, 1. Genuinely, is it just not that high? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just 5 upwards? That's odd. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Yeah, that is extremely odd, but yeah, we ball. Go up to there. I'm going to have to fill up so much crown back there. It gets crazy. I've been talking so much I completely ignored this build. Most of the consensus. Honestly, if I was Zuko, I would have chosen to look for Mother in secret too. I'm not sure he would have been able to find his mother's in secret, although, yeah, I would have done that too. If knowing that Mai is so unreasonable that she would just break up with him for just going to his father to learn more information on how to rule the country, be a good leader, and find his own mother, and she leaves for that, yeah, that's unreasonable. It's completely unreasonable and unjustifiable. Okay, let's see. Like, she is the only warmth he has left. Literally, that's really crazy to me. The one person who we can lean on throughout everything, who's meant to be there for him. He's going through a hard time and she's like, you want to talk to a tyrant, so I'm off. God, that's so pretentious, it's crazy. Like, she is the only warmth he has left, literally, and just leaves. And gets with an Ozai sympathizer. What? Hold on. She leaves Zuko for an Ozai sympathizer? Isn't that worse? Isn't that exactly what she leaves Zuko for, except Zuko doesn't actually like Ozai at all? Really want to know as to why Zuko never went back to June. Oh my god, yes. June. June is the girl he went on a date with in the Fire Nation, right? If that's the one you're talking about, then yes. Definitely her. Like, she was the nicest person Zuko has had as a romantic interest. And she just goes away. There's even a theory that she knew Zuko was a firebender the entire time. She just didn't care. And they literally just have her in one episode and that's it. Missed opportunity. Really missed it. Unless she's the mother of Izumi. Please be the mother of Izumi. I would actually like that better. The guy Mai gets with is a secret Ozai sympathizer, and her father was the head of it. A rebel of the Fire Nation. Oh. Welp, she left Zuko and got someone worse. Am I feeling sorry for her? No, not one bit. She got what she deserved, if you ask me. You could behave unreasonably, get someone unreasonable. Almost looks like I'm building a prison, but I'm not. Whoops. Yeah, almost does look like I'm building a prison, but I'm actually not. It's just a comfortable place for my pet dragons. I'm gonna have to just destroy inwards. Although I'm not gonna have to do it over there because that place is already open, so I just need to find out how deep I need to go within and then just do something about that. Oh, right, I built this wrong. It's not supposed to actually be here. It's supposed to be the roof right above it. Like, right there. That's where I'm supposed to be putting it. Okay, quickly replace all these. Fantastic. I'm not going to be able to finish this build within the stream. Hold on, how long have I been live for? Damn, nearly 2 hours. Let's see. Was with. Yeah, she ended up getting what she had coming. That was completely unreasonable of her. This entire time I had no idea, or at the very least didn't remember that's why she left Zuko. It's so bad on a writing standpoint. I think Mai was supposed to be the better one between Zuko and her. I subscribed. Thank you for that, Feather. Feathers of Peacock. That's one interesting name. I actually like that. Peacocks are one of my favorite birds. Welcome to the channel. I make regular Avatar content, so You'll find regular debates here and there. Reaction videos aren't as common, but I usually make fun fact videos. You can actually just... I usually just make shorts, not long-form content, but I'm trying to get back into long-form content as well. I still have to do that entire full Korra review series, but it's taking taking way too long. Also, YouTube is currently cracking down on copyright, which is terrible for someone who's doing episode reviews, because I'm gonna have to either blur out a lot of the scenes or just use shorter clips which are only like 3 seconds long and hope those don't just get copyrighted later. YouTube is really getting on our creators' nerves at the moment. Fever on my stream. Hold on, there's a comment before that as well, isn't there? Let's see. You know, I dislike when I say I was a fan of Zutara and people think I don't like a tank. Oh, you can like a tank. You can be either one. It doesn't really matter. It's a point of preference. But it doesn't mean you don't like a tank. I say I was... Oh, you were a fan of Zutara and people thought you didn't like a tank. Yeah, that... Well, that is people these days. Like, it feels like people are becoming more unhinged. It's crazy. Even sometimes when you do agree on the same thing, someone will still latch onto the one thing you disagree on just to antagonize you for it. It's really crazy to have debates these days. They feel that fever romance dream. Yeah. Well, Katara and Zuko make a great team. They are toxic for each other. Literal fire and water. Extremely toxic. Let's see. Like, you know, Painted Lady x Blue Spirit. I never actually made that connection before, but yeah, they are two people who have pretended to be spirits before, or at the very least favored by spirits. Which also brings up Katara... Hold on. Wait. Is Toph the only one who hasn't seen a spirit? Obviously, Aang has interacted with multiple spirits before. Katara has seen the Painted Lady with her own eyes. Zuko hasn't seen a spirit either, has he? So it's Zuko and Toph, because Sokka has seen a spirit before. Not only Tui and La, but also saw the spiritual form of Yue. So Toph and Zuko are the only ones who haven't seen spirits before? That's kind of funny, actually. General Aldarn. Oh, in the comics, they've all seen spirits. Okay. That's better. I like that. Well, some of them have. Toph can't see. Bad joke, I know, but her feet can see more than everyone else. Which is, by the way, crazy detail. In The Legend of Korra, she straight up just admits she can see all the way from the swamp to Republic City, which is crazy. She can practically see everywhere across the world. That's an insane detail. Right, let's see. They are dealing more in absolutes than the Sith do. Yeah, they actually do. Painted Lady. Let's see. Sadly, I expect the Legend of Korra to answer this, but what really happened to the Lion Turtles? We actually don't know. Aang supposedly met one of the final ones, but we don't even know where that one went. I mean, Aang knew what it was upon seeing it, but I just took it as him getting that information from the library. That, or maybe because of the air nomads are so in touch with history and culture. I believe all the air nomads knew of lion turtles. It's just they had never met one yet, because they are very historical people. If there was any culture I would assume had been reading up on history and everything, it would be the air nomads. So I just assume he knew what a lion turtle was based off of that. Let's see, where do I leave off? Right there. Upon seeing it, yep. They are dealing with absolutes than the Sith do. Yeah, they do. Also, epic Star Wars reference there. Katara and Zuko would have been the first Korra and Mako. You know what? Yeah, that's exactly right, because that also is another fire and water combination. God knows how that went. I love the joke that Mako is such a bad boyfriend that both of his partners ended up gay for each other. He didn't just turn two women gay; they turned gay for each other. That is insane. Obviously, that kind of it's not exactly what happened, but it's funny to say. Sokka hasn't. Oh, he has. He's seen the spirit form of Yue, who Yue is now a spirit. It's crazy that a human can literally just be a spirit these days. Although I don't think Yue was ever fully human to begin with. General Aldarian, yep, I saw that one. Zuko has seen firebending masters, dragons. Yeah, those. Which, by the way, that's another thing that came out. The gang has all seen the original bending masters. So for air, Appa, they've seen that one. For fire, the dragons, Zuko and Aang has seen those. Let's see, the original bending masters of water is the ocean and moon spirits. They saw those too. And Toph has met the Badgermoles. Actually, they've all met the Badgermoles in the Cave of Two Lovers episode. Wait, I don't think Zuko saw the Badgermoles though. Let's see. Zuko has seen Firebending Masters. Well, Zuko did see the Ocean Spirit and Toph heard Dian. True. Toph is the only one who hasn't seen any of them with her own eyes, but she's likely just felt a bunch of them already. The Ocean Spirit. Oh yeah, he did see the Ocean Spirit. And the Moon Spirit. She's actually seen both. I'm not sure if she ever saw the... Oh yeah, she did see them both. Both while they were alive. He did go there to capture Aang, so must have had a gander at the portals, at the pond, to see both spirits swimming at the very least. They were in fish form, so he didn't see them in spirit form. But I'm curious if he did ever see a spirit in its spiritual form. Not a spirit. Let's see. There it is. That's what it sounds like when one of you finds it. Yeah. Toph is my favorite character for a reason. Let's see. Fell for it. Okay. It could be possible the land turtles, one of the only beings to be able to freely interact with both the physical and spirit worlds, and are mostly in the spirit world. Honestly, that could be it. Maybe the reason the lion turtles are no longer in the physical world, because the lion turtles' main objective in the physical world was that they gave, well, humans lived on them, and whenever they left, they would give them bending. So it's very likely that they kind of just saw it as, their jobs in the physical world are over, so they kind of just migrated over to the spirit world and just live there. They could genuinely just be living there. That could be it. It would also make sense why they're not being seen anymore. Or maybe they just don't come up anymore, they just kind of hide. I don't think they eat anything. Maybe they do? I don't know. Well, the swamp is connected around the whole world, so it makes sense that she'll be able to see everything around the world. True, but the swamp is also made entirely of trees. Now the question is she tree bending? Or is she using spiritual bending to be able to see everything? Like, did Toph become insanely spiritual to where she connects to absolutely everything? Or is she somehow connecting to the minerals in the trees and using the roots and the earth to see around the world? Interesting thought process there. And the bear spirit, if I remember correctly. The bear spirit? I mean, in the Avatar movie, they do all see a spirit. That's for sure. They also all experience something else. Toph has seen Mule. Mule? You mean the moles? Badger moles. He also did see Mother of All Faces in the comics. Yep, they did see those too. They also did see the accompanying, like the workers of the Mother of Face as well. It's that fox, right, with the faces on it? I think if bloodbending is possible, breath-bending is possible. Breath-bending? What do you mean by breath-bending? Like air-bending, or bending the air that comes out of someone's lungs? If Toph combines earth and metal bending, she can call it bone bending. She actually probably could. Random thought. People have been speculating about bone bending for a while, by the way. by bending like the minerals within bones in order to be able to do that. But some people have also been theorizing that's exactly. Actually, here's the best. I'm probably going to end the stream after this theory. Here's the best theory for bone bending that I've seen online, but also I want to discuss a bit more. Um, I think the first bone bender we've ever seen is Boomy. Now, why do I think this? Boomy literally goes from looking like a frail old man to us. We literally watch this, by the way. We watch him rearrange his bone structure to go from being slanted to being an upright, muscular beast right in front of our eyes, and we've all just thought, oh, he was just cracking his bones or something, rearranging his joints. That has to be the best case for bone bending I've ever seen, because you can argue he literally used earth bending to reshape his skeletal structure to go from being frail to being insanely strong immediately. So yeah, is bone bending a thing? Go back to that scene. That is the best case for bone bending we've ever seen, because it's right there. Most of us just, it completely flies over your head, but I think he was bone bending. Or at the very least, well, yeah, not at the very least, he literally was bone bending. He rearranged his skeletal structure. Let's see. The one that was upset when the forest burned down. Oh, right, that one. Okay. You mean Heibai? Oh, right, Heibai. When you said bear, I was like, wait, a bear spirit? And then I was like, oh, you mean a panda bear. Heibai. I just totally forgot about that. Yeah, that might actually be it. I'm probably going to end up making a video about that so I can get a lot of people's opinions on it as well. Because when live streaming, there's only ever a few people who are ever going to actually see it. So just to get the idea out to as many people as I can, I'm probably going to end up making a video about that as well, so I can get some people's perspective on it as well. Okay. I hate how this interface is so squashed. It's crazy. Like I have to swipe from left to right to be able to see different parts of it. You'd think I'd be able to just make it like a squish it to be able to fit into form, but it just doesn't want to work like that. Huh. Odd stuff. Okay. No. Turn that off, turn that off, turn that off. Go to the question segment. Nothing there. Oh, controller battery is low. Right around time, huh? In India, it's rare people have watched this series. Really? Oh, I didn't know they didn't have that much of a demographic over there. It's good to talk with an avatar head. Yep, this channel is 100% avatar. You can interact with a bunch of people in the comments as well, like Darkstar here, one of my top commenters as well. Yeah, so if you're ever looking for avatar, people who are interested in the avatar community, you've found the right channel. Kind of ironic that air, being the element that's used by peacekeepers, has already had 4 forms for instant kill, and Zahir used the most tedious one. I'm gonna spoil the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, but that one was the fastest. Yeah, I I suppose I find that to be kind of ironic or kind of poetic that the most peaceful people in the world technically are also the most dangerous. Because Monkey Atso has all those corpses around him. People to this day keep theorizing that he kind of just sucked the air out of the room out of desperation and grief and just killed all those Fire Nation soldiers. But the most telling thing is there's no soot in the entire room. So those Fire Nations didn't get a chance to defend against anything he did. He kind of just suffocated and killed everyone in that room, which is crazy. The most peaceful element has the potential to do the most killing the fastest. Yikes. Peaceful does not mean defenseless. Exactly. Just because you're peaceful doesn't mean you can't fight back. Which an ironic thing is due to Fire Nation propaganda. They tell everyone in the Fire Nation that the air nomads were that dangerous and they were mobilizing an army. I guess they weren't entirely wrong. Well, yes, they lied, but if the air nomads were aggressive fighters, Targa is your best example. He only had air, and look what a monster he was. So yeah, if airbenders were more war driven, they would be absolute menaces entirely. But let's see. I have been streaming for, yeah, that is probably my longest stream. Hopefully the person I answered that entire essay to ends up seeing this, and they might actually be a bit daunted after seeing this entire live stream is 2 hours and 15 minutes. But hopefully I answered that question, and I do hope to keep doing more of these streams. This one was completely unannounced, so thank you to Darkstar and Feather for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you to everyone for watching. Let's see. Friday. Interesting. I might end up streaming tomorrow as well. I don't have anything planned for the night, so I'll probably be live as well. There's a video I want to upload in the daytime, so yeah, I'll be back on at night, I think. Probably not Minecraft. I'm going to continue Spider-Man tomorrow, I think. So, see you all. Have a lovely day. Thank you for joining and subscribing. Thank you to Darkstar for the constant chats. There was also someone called Rin here at the very start who was chatting a bit, was chatting as well at the very start. Yeah, have a great day, sweet dreams, and hope to see you all next time. See you. Yes, it is nighttime. I'm guessing it's nighttime there too. I think. I hope so. Good night and sleep well. If it's daytime for anyone else, have a great day.